Number 9, we have a trinomial, and we're asked to write it in factored form. So going down our factor list here, our factor method list, checking for a GCF. Is there a number that divides all three, or do they share a variable in common? No, they don't. And because it is a trinomial, I can't use method 2, difference of squares, because it has to be two terms. So we're using the method to factor trinomials. And it's going to be the simple factoring method because the number in front of the x squared is a 1. So you can use guess and check here with the simple method. X squared splits as x and x. And we're looking for really what multiplies to negative 70, the back number, and combines to negative 9. If you don't want to use guess and check, you can use the method that I showed you where you make a factor list of the last number. And in this method that I'm showing you, you're subtracting the numbers in your list because it's a minus sign, if you're not using guess and check. So, factor pairs of 70. I always start with 1 times 70. Does that subtract to our middle number, which is a 9? We're going to modify to get 9 negatives later. No, that's not going to work. Because it ends in a 0, I know it's even, so 2 does go into it. 2 times 35. 35 minus 2 is not 9, so we're going to keep going. 3 is not a factor, neither is 4, but 5 is, because if it ends in a 0 or a 5, 5 is a factor. And 5 times 14 is 70. And 14 minus 5 is 9. So this is our factor pair that we're using. So 14 and 5 multiply to 70 and add to 9. But we really need them to add to negative 9. So we're going to need to add a negative on one of these. And if you think about it, to get a negative 70 when you multiply two numbers, one has to be positive and one has to be negative to get that negative 70. So which one are we going to add the negative to the 5 or the 14? Well, in order to get 9 negatives, we would have to add it to the 14. So it's x plus 5, x minus 14. This is our factored form. And don't forget, you can always check your answer by distributing and making sure you get back to the expanded form.